Maybe you've noticed the blue line on my Faith and Photos logo. Well, that's my way of honoring my brothers and sisters in blue who put on the badge every day. Law enforcement officers understand what it means to serve their community, but for some, like J.P. Henry, that badge becomes a mission field. J.P. has been a part of the Billy Graham Rapid Response Team, being deployed once to North Carolina after the catastrophic flooding, and then again to New Orleans after the Bourbon Street incident where a man drove his truck into a crowd of people, injuring dozens and taking lives in the process. JP and his wife Tori have recently taken on a new ministry, a new mission with Bless the Badge Ministries, a ministry by cops, for cops. And recently, they do several things, but recently they had a tactical relationships conference, which is put together for law enforcement officers and their spouses. And it teaches them a lot about the effects of the job, the effects of hyper-vigilance, and gives them real tools of how to communicate better. And Lindsay and I went to it. We went to one last year. We went to this one in Lafayette, Louisiana. And I had the opportunity to sit down and talk with JP about his new mission. We're going to show you that interview here in just a moment. I also got to meet Lisa Lerner, who is one of the co-founders of Bless the Badge Ministry. Her and her husband brought this ministry into being several years ago, and we talked to her about when did that happen and what precipitated and how, what is that ministry all about? Stay tuned to the end and you'll meet 3 law enforcement officers and their wives and hear how this conference impacted their marriages. This is Cops on a Mission today on this episode of Faith and Photos. Using the art of photography to make the most of our Lord and to share His gospel with others, this is Faith and Photos. So I'm joined here today by my friend J.P. Henry. We're at the Bless the Badge Marriage Conference here in Lafayette. Now, Bless the Badge has regional directors, and they also have some state representatives. Is that what it's called?
That's correct. State ambassador.
State ambassador. And you and Tori, your wife, are now state ambassadors for Louisiana. What's that going to mean as far as what do you do?
So when we first got started, we obviously hosted one last year in Patterson, in our area, in St. Mary Parish. And then fast forward, throughout that year, they asked us if we wanted to become state ambassadors for Bless the Badge Ministries. It entailed a lot of training, several months of going through some trainings and classes, and we became state ambassadors. We graduated as state ambassadors a couple months ago, and this will be our first conference host as state ambassadors.
Can law enforcement officers and their spouses in the state of Louisiana can expect to see these popping up in other places in the coming months or years?
That is correct. We are trying, as of right now, we're looking to try to do at least one a year. Depending on sponsorships, we're going to try to maybe advance to 2 a year. This year we're hosting in Lafayette. This is our first one because we partnered with Lafayette Police Department. Chief Paul Truard tremendously jumped on board when I met with him and wanted to partner with us. And then, of course, I had a connection. One of our old officers at Berwick PD that now works at Lafayette P for the last 20-something years was the connection, and we jumped on board with Lafayette.
That's awesome. So this is like a tactical marriage conference. And I know, and you know, you've been in law enforcement a long time. I'm still a rookie at 7 years, but you've been in it, 70, 80 years by now.
Not 70.
So how long have you been in?
25 years this year.
That's
Next month,
good.
25 years.
Well, honestly, how many times have we seen law enforcement officers and their spouses have tremendous troubles? The job is difficult on people anyway, and I think it's difficult on marriages. And I think this is such an investment in the lives of cops.
Yeah, it got put on me and Tori's heart several years ago to want to do this. God orchestrated the whole thing, dude. I just tell you that much. By going through the Billy Graham ministry, we met Micah and Brandon Rollins. They led us towards Bless the Badge, and we hit the ground. We knew we wanted to be involved in it some way. Here we are now, state ambassadors, and like you said, it in our profession, it's very unfortunate that we do have, there's a lot of marriage problems, a lot of marriage issues. And I think that's all due to the mental wellness side of everything, all the different things we see and do on our jobs. And it goes home with us. So you know it's going to affect your marriage. It's going to affect your family, your relationships. This tactical relationship training brings the hyper-vigilance to the forefront. It talks about the mental wellness side of it with clinicians. It just helps you completely navigate a career in the law enforcement profession, to be able to navigate through it and how to deal and cope with it.
Right.
It's really a really tremendous event and training that you can come to.
Yeah, I mean, look, marriages all over the country are under attack right now, and in high stress jobs like law enforcement and other things.
Yeah.
You really see the issue. So I'm very look. We got a lot out of the one last year, and I'm excited for what we're going to learn from this one.
Yeah, we are pumped about this one. We had, as of this morning, 160 people registered, which is
that's great.
Quadruple what we had last year in Patterson. People are showing up today, and we just hope everybody gets out of it what we put into it, because it's been a year-long thing. We've been planning this. It's here.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and you're not nervous at all. He's not nervous at all.
Yeah.
He's got it all under control.
I'm a little nervous about having to MC the whole event, our first one. So Tori and I both prayed to make us more bold and want to be able to get up in front of people and do this kind of stuff and help marriages. And a year or so, 2 years later, after all that praying about it, we are like in the mix of it. So here we are,
Yep.
and we're excited.
In the modern church in America, when we think about ministry, you think about pastors, music, worship leaders, people who that's what they do for their job. But honestly, biblically, ministry is for every believer. And
yeah.
You go. You got two of us. We're full-time law enforcement. It's how we feed our families. It's the job we do. But I think we both are seeing that there's opportunities for ministry and what we do. And I'm glad you guys have taken this opportunity.
Absolutely, there's a place for it.
Absolutely.
I tell all the guys all the time, and anybody I come into contact with in this job, if you don't know God, you better soon get to learn Him and know Him, because if you don't, you will never navigate this career on your own. That's my belief. That's how I feel about it, and I tell a lot of guys that all the time. If you don't have a smidget of a relationship with God, it's gonna be sink or swim, because we see things, we deal with things, even in small communities, as you know, and here we are, and I believe that God has to be in the center of it, because if not, we're gonna sink or swim.
So. Yeah, good things gonna happen today. I can't wait. Thanks for joining me, brother.
Absolutely, pleasure.
So I'm joined by Miss Lisa Lerner. Her and her husband Chuck are the ones that actually the founders of Bless the Badge Ministries. So how long ago did y'all put this together?
It actually started in 1991. We got married in 89, and I discovered very quickly that I did not know how to navigate anything in law enforcement life. It was very different from anything I'd ever known. So I figured out that, hey, if it's me, it's got to be other wives too. So that's kind of what initiated it, was bringing some other wives together from a shift back in El Paso, and bringing it together so we could learn that all y'all do the same thing. You act the same way, you have the same things, and it shocked us all that we thought it was just ours, but it ended up being all of you. So we were like, yeah, okay, we could work this out. We could figure this out.
So I love the way the information is presented. Mm-hmm. I noticed when Brandon and Micah were presenting, he would say something, and then she would give the lady's point of view.
Right.
And I know with us, we came to one of them last year, mm-hmm. and then this one again this year. Mm-hmm. That is so effective because it helps both sides to understand what the other one is maybe missing,
yes.
And then the way the tools are given in mm-hmm. your class, especially with the communication, excellent to understand how to effectively communicate.
Yes, yeah, it's very important for both sides to be seen, because both sides need to be understood. It's always, a lot of the training you guys get, or a lot of things you guys get in communication, or you get in things, is for you, but it doesn't affect your support system. And your support system is the most important thing. Oh. And so it's like, if y'all can't get it together, or you lose your support system,
it vastly not just affects you personally, but affects your job quality. It affects your job effectiveness. I mean, you've got a happy, healthy officer at home. You have a healthy, productive, on-drive officer on the street.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So it makes a difference in being able to reach the support system, train and teach the support system what this looks like for you, because we don't know. I mean, we don't know how things affect you and what it does and what we're looking at, what we can control and change and what is not. And then once we find out together what can't be changed or controlled, how do we navigate that into a positive? And it can be done.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love this. Look, this is one place we can come where three of the things that mean so much to us, the job, our spouse, and then even more so our relationship with God.
Yeah.
And when we come to one of these Bless the Badge conferences, all of that comes together.
Yeah.
And it makes it a very unique experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing is this is for law enforcement by law enforcement.
Right.
And that's the thing is where all the teachers that come or all the speakers and especially the staff, we are all law enforcement, either currently, previously, everybody is involved in a level of law enforcement. So we understand who we're talking to, the walk that's walked, the job that's worked. You know, you can't come and say, well, I have all the excuses because I'm a cop. And they're like, we're all cops.
Right.
You know, or I'm a law enforcement wife. We all are. You know, so it's like, okay, let's figure this out and work it out. So that was the main thing that started us is we wanted to be able to reach our peers. We wanted to be able to have a place within our community to help our community. Yeah, law enforcement community.
It's so effective. I love this.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for really coming up with, and I know you would say you're following the Lord's leading on this. And this was absolutely a God-breathed idea.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Look,
Yeah.
if you're a law enforcement officer and you've never been to a Bless the Badge conference, look, this is a must for you. I'm telling you, you love the job, love your family, you love the Lord. You need to come and invest in those things and experience what this is all about. Yeah.
Come on over.
Well, go to it's blessthebadge.org. I'll put it on the screen down here. Take a look at that. If you're not a law enforcement officer, but you know some, take a look at that and spread the wealth around. Thank you so much.
Thanks. I appreciate you.
1021. 1021. In event of foot patrol. The 3400 block.
So
12,
coming
please.
the second time, what we learned different from the first time was even more of an application to use for our marriage and the difference between, you know, me being in law enforcement and her being my spouse. But it's just an amazing conference, and I highly suggest anybody to come, even as a family member of somebody in law enforcement.
Just better communication skills to keep applying. It's what I love and learned.
How long you been married?
8 years. Yeah.
How long do you think you've been?
Oh no.
Today, I came out with a lot more communication skills that even I needed. I thought he needed better communication skills, but I figured out that I also need a lot better communication skills. And I also came out with realizing that he's not only hyper-vigilant. When he comes home from work, I'm always at a high level of stress because I am anticipating him coming home. So I've gotten better tools to navigate just when he even walks in the door.
I've taken away, for me, knowing now one of the reasons why I come home in the first 30 minutes to an hour, I just want to kind of be to myself. It's something that's natural for someone in this line of work, in that the communication between my spouse and I, or the family, I need to schedule the time for it and be able to answer those questions that she has, and just that everything that I have experienced is a natural thing for this.
Good afternoon. I realized today with this training, I was that main officer that goes home and sits in the chair and don't move and scrolls on the phone. And I didn't realize that I was that officer until today. So I was able to tell that I struggled from that in the past and still today. Also, out of today, I realized hearing my wife say so many times, get out of cop mode, stop treating me like I'm a suspect. On a lot of our conversations, I wasn't really aware that I was doing that either. And to hear today that it's a normal thing that we do. It's not good, but it's a normal thing that we do. I've learned how to try to process it and trying to catch myself doing it going forward.
Yep, so I am going to go off of that. I picked up on bringing him back from that. I always just did like her, like she said, and hey, officer, no, try to bring him back from it. And I really enjoyed that we touched on faith in God multiple times today, because we would not be where we are today if it was not for God. And communication, understanding, and respect.
If this video has encouraged you, please take a moment to like and comment, subscribe to the channel if you would like to have more faith-based content like this on YouTube. It also helps the algorithm to help push our message out to other folks. If you'd like to learn more about the incredible work of Bless the Badge Ministry that is just really exploding in law enforcement, then look down in the comments in the description below, and we'll put some information down there for you. Make sure you tell others about it, spread it around, share the video. This is an incredible ministry by cops and for cops. Thanks again for joining us today on Faith in Photos. And as always, remember to keep taking those pictures, but keep your focus on Him. I'll see you in the next one.